Hey guys, in this session let us learn about exit status in shell. Whenever we execute any shell script, okay, using // we execute a shell script, okay. All the shell script has to end up with this exit status, okay. So this exit status contains multiple codes which represents the status of the execution, okay. Let us see the most common codes, okay. They are 0, 1, 2, 126 and 127. There are also other codes that exist, but if you know all these basic codes, it is well and good, okay, for you to write any Oracle shell script. 0 represents that the shell script is executed successfully, and also the result that you try to find. Say for example, you have learnt grep, right? So if you find a pattern with aura from the alert log, then this becomes exit status 0, which means we have found this pattern aura from this alert log file, and this grep command has executed successfully, okay. So if both the conditions are satisfied, then exit status becomes 0, okay. We have to imagine the exit status code, okay. These codes will not be printed in front of your screen in the command line, okay. We have to invoke all the status code using question mark symbol, okay. So this is kind of a variable which stores these values, okay, either 0 or 1 or 2 or 126 based on the execution status of the shell script, okay. So similarly, if this aura pattern is not found from the alert log file, then the command is executed successfully, right, but the pattern is not found. So in this case, exit status 1 will be stored in this question mark variable, okay. So you know the difference, right? So if the command is executed successfully and the pattern is also found, so this is a win-win situation. So in this case, 0 is the exit status value, and if the command is executed successfully and the pattern is not found, then you have executed the command successfully, but you have not found the pattern. So exit status becomes 1, okay. And so in grep, you would have studied multiple arguments, right? So if I need to print the top 5 lines or bottom 5 lines, I use -A5, right, and aura. So this is an argument. So instead of A5, if I give some other letter like M5, this argument does not even exist in the grep command. So in this case, I have given the command correct, but the argument is wrong. So in this case, you will get exit status as 2, okay. You will get some error saying that this argument or option is not found, and if you see the exit status, then it will be 2, okay. And 126 is the exit status for permissions, okay. If you write a shell script and store it in a file, and if that shell script does not have permissions for executing, so in that case you will get exit status as 126. Okay, and if you are using any command which does not exist in Linux, like if I use grep instead of grep, if I mistakenly replaced this E with I, so in this case I will get command not found error. Okay, so this command not found error has a code as 127. Okay, so let us see this with practical example. Okay, now let me give you an example. So let me take the same sample.txt. Okay, or I have other examples, right? So let me take profile.txt. Okay, so here let me grep with default, and I use this profile.txt as a file and execute this command. Now I have executed the command successfully. Also I have found the pattern default from this file. Okay, so as I said, the exit status code will be stored in question mark variable. Okay, so similar to how you call a particular variable, you use a dollar symbol, right? So similarly you can use dollar and this variable question mark. So once I execute any command, and if I need to get the exit status of that particular command, immediately I have to use this echo dollar question mark to check the exit status of the command. Now you can see I got 0, right? Because I also executed the command successfully and I also got the pattern default from this file. Both the conditions are satisfied, so I got exit status as 0. Now if I use some other word over here which does not exist in the profile.txt file, so in this case if I execute this command, I didn't get any output, but the command is executed successfully, right? So in this case I will get exit status as 1. You can see the output as 1, right? Now let me give some arguments over here, -m5. Here you can see, right, invalid option error. Okay, why? Because the command is correct, but the argument that I passed does not exist. Okay, so that is why I am not able to execute this command. Now let us check the exit status. You can see exit status is 2. Okay, let us see exit status 126. Let me create a script file and let me insert and write this line shebang and give the location as usual, and let me use some list command, okay, and save this file. Now if I check the permissions for this file, I don't have executable permissions for this file. Okay, so this column is having some hyphen, which means that we don't have permissions for executable. So we should have X over here. We don't have X. Now let me try to execute this script. You can see permission denied error. Now if I check the exit status, I get 126. So whenever you get this code, that means that the command or script does not have any permissions. Okay. Now let us see exit status 127. Now randomly I type something in the command line, or let me use grep instead of grep. Okay, and I use the same default profile.txt. Now you can see that Linux is recommending that there is a similar command called grep. So it automatically recognizes that we are using some command with a similarity, but we have used something wrong. So that is why it has printed this command not found error. Okay, so this gives us 127. Right? So why we store all these values in this question mark variable, and why we have to check this exit status? So whenever we write any of the shell script, if we need to write some conditions based on the output of the previous command, in those cases these exit status will be very helpful. Okay, so let us see an example. So if we want to check the status of process monitor, which is pmon. So process monitor is the critical background process which monitors other processes in Oracle database, and if this process does not run, or if it is dead, then a database instance crash. Right? So always we need to check the status of process monitor. Okay, so using ps-ef grep pmon. So ps command is used to print all the processes which are running in the Linux, and -ef is the argument that we use to filter out certain values, and we are grepping it with the pmon, so that all the processes which has the prefix or suffix as pmon will be printed. Okay, now I use grep -v and grep. Why? Because always when you grep the process, so whenever you use this command, for this command there is a grep. Okay, and that grep is using some pmon. Right, so this command is also a process. Right, so we are running this command with the help of a process. For that process there should be some PID, so that PID is printed over here. Okay, so in order to skip that unwanted row, we just use grep -v grep. So we don't need the process of grep, so that is why we have used -v option to skip this line. Okay, so whenever you use ps-ef grep any background process, always you get an extra line like this. So grep -color auto pmon, this process stands for, this process is specifically for the grep command. Okay, so if I use ps-ef grep smon also, you get another extra line over here. Right, so always we need to use grep -v and grep to remove this line. Okay, so now let us write a script to check the status of the pmon for our database. Okay. So I will name the script as pmonchk, which means pmoncheck.sh. Okay. Now, so let us write a simple script to check the status of the pmon and print something if the pmon is up, and if the pmon is down, then print in the screen saying that the database instance is down. Okay. So here I will be using wc-l and before that grep-v and grep. Okay. So always whenever you write any shell script for any of the issues, just break down the problem into multiple chunks of steps. Okay. So here I need to write a script to check if pmon is up and running in my server. So in this case, first I have to write this line ps-ef. Then I have to check only for pmon. So I will just use a pipe symbol and use grep pmon to filter that pmon process. Then if there are any extra lines, okay, so we already seen that extra grep process also will be printed. So always just use the command line before you write any shell script inside the VI editor. Okay, so that is why I have demonstrated you in the command line itself to show that there is an extra grep process. So to skip this extra grep process, we use grep-v grep. Now we have divided this problem into multiple chunks of steps. Okay, and next I don't want this ps-ef grep pmon output in my shell script. Okay, so what I will do is I will use wc-l. Okay, so this will give me an output as 1. Okay, but if I don't use this line, or if I forgot to use this third step, then I will get wc-ls2 in my output. Okay, so that may sometimes cause some mismatches. So that is why you have to always check in your command line. So let us just go to the command line. Let me save this file. If I don't use this grep-v, then I get 2 as my output. Why? Because there are 2 rows, right? So I don't want 2 rows. I just need only 1 row. So if I use wc-l, I have to get this output as 1. And if there is nothing, or if there is no output, then I have to get 0. Okay, so that is the high level concept of this shell script. Then we have to use the exit status. Okay, so if this command is executed successfully and also I am able to grep pmon, so if both the conditions are passed, then my exit status becomes 0, right? And if pmon is not printed, or if pmon is not able to be filtered, okay, if the database instance is down, then pmon process will not be up and running. So in that case question mark will be 1. So here the fifth step we have to use if condition. We have already seen if condition, right? So in this case, if question mark if this dollar question mark is equal to 0, then print db is up. Okay, else print db is down. Okay, so this is a simple shell script which can be used to check the status of your pmon process. Okay, so let us write the shell script now. So let me write the if condition. If question mark or dollar question mark is equal to 0, then echo either instance or database is up and running, else database is down. So let us close this if condition. Okay, so before that, for verification purpose, you can just echo the question mark value. Okay, so that we can identify the value of this variable. Okay, so if you are not printing this exist status value, you will not be knowing what is the exact value. As we already know that we have to imagine the exist status value, right? So if you don't want to imagine the value of exist status, you can directly print it for your verification purpose. Okay, now let us save this script file. Now let me give permissions. Let me execute this. Here you can see the output, right? Exist status is 0 and database is up and running. Okay.